So we're continuing with the flow methods of communication. We talked about mentorships, we talked about gifts, and now we're gonna talk about emails. And specifically emails versus chats. If you watched old movies, you will no doubt have seen some scene where a main character is in love with another main character and they're physically very far away. For example, the man is somewhere at war and the female is at home, and they write each other letters and they read the letters. You must have noticed how emotional this feels even to watch. And if you were there to experience it, it would surely be a very strong emotion. Sending and receiving of physical letters, which was the only means of communication that humans had for almost the entirety of history, was something that was a flow. It was your only chance to tell someone in a day or week or a month, and you had to put your heart and soul into it so the communication could really be wholesome. And we have lost this in these days of total connectivity. Now we have chats, we have phones, and we have lost the flow of slow and full communication. We are just chatting and texting ourselves, which is convenient, but it's much more boxy than the old flow style of communication. And I'm not saying get back to paper letters because it's not so convenient, although it would be really romantic, but you can at least scale back to emails. Emails are not so different than paper letters. In one email, you can make it as long as you want. You can send it when you're ready, and the person can read it when they're ready, can answer when they're ready, or not at all. There is no pressure on both sides. And this is really a key, because in chat there's a pressure. You're sending back and forth messages all day, and if you need time and don't reply to a message, there's this pressure of what the other person would think. What would they think if we suddenly stopped answering their messages? Maybe we just need a little bit of time of communication. Maybe we need to clear our mind. There can be many reasons, not at all connected to any bad feelings to the person, but we kind of feel this pressure to always be there. And this fragments our day and reduces our other flows. So even if we really love this person and the communication with them, unless we can somehow integrate it from both sides into their flows, which sometimes it's possible, but not with every kind of day rhythm, not with every kind of work. Some work is deep and requires that there's zero distraction. If we cannot integrate this boxy method of communication, and even if we could, in both cases, we could really take advantage of more flow methods of communication. And when it's not convenient to have a meeting in person or a phone call, or when you just want to really take the pressure off the other side, you want to share something that's really important to you, and you want to really take the time to write it like you feel it, and then take the time, give the other person the space to take the time to read it, to let any emotions pass, to let intuition about the situation develop, and maybe even not respond at all. Not all communication has to be two-sided. Sometimes you just want to say something and be heard or read. Email is perfect for such situations. And in many cases, one email of 2 or 3 pages is better than months of everyday communication of one line each. Because the value of a text is not just in its total size, its sum size, but also in its continuity, in its flow. Some of the best ideas in my life has started from just sending someone close to me an email. So I just get inspired, want to do something, because I'm inspired, but let's say it's late at night, I cannot call, and I just send an email. And then I can go back to this email at any time, and so can the other person. It's just like the paper letter that we can keep in our drawer. Emails are really, really underrated. And the most underrated are personal emails. In work, often emails are used appropriately, but we don't use enough emails in our personal communication. And sometimes an email is the most appropriate way to tell something. Writing a big ass, very honest email is in its way an unpopular forest. It's quite unusual in our age, especially if it's something personal. And once you start, it's a flow. It only takes starting it to start feeling better about whatever it is. It's no pressure on either side. There's no way it can reduce the long-term freedom of anyone. And it's a flow that you can plan. You start writing an email, just open the composer in your email and you start writing and you're already in the flow. And it can become a very good instinct whenever you don't know what to do, just write a long email. It would definitely help, I promise you that.